When you're running Facebook ads, you need to understand that there's three basics to Facebook ads that you have to pay attention to every single time you create a Facebook ad. The first is you have to get attention. The goal is basically you have to stop someone from scrolling. So the picture or video that you're using has to be a disruptor. You have to disrupt what's going on in their newsfeed and basically get their attention. It has to stick out. It has to stop people in their tracks. So that's the first thing you have to do. Whatever image or video you're using has to get people's attention immediately. If you're using a video, you have 3 seconds to really capture attention. And then obviously with the picture, it's the same thing, but it's the picture itself has to capture the attention. So that's the first. Whatever visual you're using has to stop people from scrolling in their feed. It has to disrupt and it has to get attention. Second is what we call the copy, the language that we use in the ad. It has to resonate with your audience. It has to make sense to them. And it has to make sense at an emotional level. You have to get to that gut level of emotion, get a reaction, get people to really pay attention. Quick example of this, I was running ads for a roofing company that did roof estimates repair after storm damage. Everyone else who was running ads in that area were saying things like, there was a storm last night, let us check your roof. Or hailstorms cause roof damage, right? Wasn't really anything that was like gut level gets an emotional reaction. The ads I ran said, don't get ripped off by your insurance company. Call us first, right? Everybody has a concern that maybe their insurance company might not give them the most money that they deserve, or that their roof might not be repaired to the extent that it needs to be. So getting to that fear and that pain that people already have is what got my ads to work when other people's ads didn't work. So you have to make sure that your copy or the words you say is emotional and that people can actually relate to it on an emotional level. Whatever that pain point is, agitate that pain and then offer a solution. And then the third thing is you have to understand your audience. Who are you talking to? Now, let's take a step back to the staircase and understand that the beginning, if somebody hasn't ever met you, the beginning of that staircase, the way you talk to them is different than if somebody's already bought something from you, right? And this is the same thing. We use audiences to build those relationships, and we communicate with different audiences differently, right? You wouldn't communicate with your spouse the same way you would communicate with a work acquaintance. And this is the same sort of thing. You wouldn't communicate with somebody who is just being introduced to you the same way you would communicate with somebody who's already bought something from you. So these audiences can be created based off of interests and demographics like we talked about, but also based off of user behavior. So make sure you're creating audiences within Facebook based on people that have already viewed your videos maybe, or people that have clicked on something but didn't fill out a form, people that have already gone to your website, right? Each of those people, each of those audiences has a different group of people that you're going to want to communicate with differently. So make sure that you're creating audiences based on that consumer behavior, what they've done, how they've interacted with you, what their step of the relationship is with you, and then communicate appropriately. If you do those three things, if you get attention, if you use emotional language, and create audiences and communicate with them based on the step of the relationship that audience is with you, you will have success in Facebook ads. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Put your questions in the Facebook group so we can answer them and so everybody can learn along the way.